Hello there! Hi, my name's Chloe, otherwise known as Princess Aspian, and welcome to my channel. So not only since I've started doing YouTube, but also in real life, in my day-to-day life, when I go out somewhere, this or that, I've often been told that I have a rather unsettling stare. And now, I don't mean to do this, it kind of just happens. And it tends to make an appearance completely out of the blue and for no particular reason. Now, for people that haven't met me before or haven't experienced this stare thing that I tend to do, it's gonna sound completely bizarre. But I've had this stare described to me as this cold, fixed, empty gaze, which doesn't even seem like it's coming from a real person. It's out of the bag. I'm actually not a person at all. I'm an alien. But in the words of other people, it seems like it's coming from something that's like a doll or something equally as dead. Which I guess is kind of bizarre because I don't really tend to do this. I don't look at people with, I'm going to kill you. That's not what I do, right? Like that would be completely strange, and although I'm strange, I wouldn't think it would be in that sense. Now, most times I'm completely unaware of this stare and have absolutely no idea that I'm actually doing it, or it's actually my face is doing that thing, until someone will be like,
"Psst, Chloe, you're doing it again.
Why do you look so annoyed? Stop it!"
Now, I'm not actually annoyed and I'm not actually planning on plotting your death. It just something happens. Now, I actually remember one time where this happened in particular. I think it was at my first party that I went to. First and only. Let's just keep that in mind. And you know, as teenagers do, everyone was dancing and having an absolutely fantastic time. And here I was doing an absolutely awful job at fitting in. Story of my life. Public service announcement. Fitting in isn't worth it. Just do you. And in my attempt to fit in and dance and make friends and, you know, interact with these girls, which were my own age, which was horribly tiring, I was then called out for my ridiculously strange eyes. Now, I never thought that I had weird eyes. Like, I haven't got one that's blue and one that's purple, which would actually be really cool. And I haven't got, you know, these massive eyes or these teeny squinty eyes, or, you know, they look pretty normal to me, yeah? But it seems that everybody calls them out anyway. There was this one particular girl at the party which said something along the lines of,
"Chloe, you need to stop. You look like you're about to kill me."
fast forward about 30 seconds and I had about 30 teenage girls surrounding me, swarming me. They were like some small crazy army of teenagers staring right into my eyeballs. And suddenly her comment of causing homicide didn't actually sound that much of a bad idea. I'm kidding, I promise. But long story short, I don't go to parties anymore. The problem is, the stare itself, which I have now realised that I tend to do quite a lot, it isn't meant to be mean or horrible or malicious in any way possible. As I said, a good majority of the time I have to physically be snapped out of it, and I actually have no idea that I'm doing it. However, I have found that it does tend to show up more often when I'm in an uncomfortable situation or want to be left alone, or doing something that I'm not certain of, that I don't know how to cope with, that I haven't learnt how to deal with that situation, such as being at a party. What's going inside of my head when the rest of the world thinks I'm trying to plot their deaths? Actually a fair bit. Let me explain. Although this doll-like stare which I tend to have can come off as looking blank and dead, the truth of the matter is that I'm actually thinking a fair bit. And yeah, I can definitely still hear you while you're whispering about me. Sorry. And I think a lot of Aspies will be able to relate to me as well when I say that this has happened to them. That sometimes their expressions are non-existent, that sometimes their faces are just like... And here's why. Your world is so different than my own. Your tribe is different than mine. And you're all equally fascinating, terrifying, and confusing. Your world is full of crazy, ridiculous things, which I'm still trying to learn every single day. And sometimes my brain decides it's all just a little bit too much and decides to head on back to Planet Aspian. Like most other neurotypical people, I learn by watching people do things. In this case, it could be socializing in a public place, or something with a lot of people, with a lot of music, with a lot of things going on, such as a party. Therefore, my murder eyes come on as my entire intention is focused on my surroundings. And my brain is struggling so much trying to process what it's seeing, hearing, thinking, smelling, you know, all those 5 sense things. And I simply just don't have the time to worry about what my eyeballs are doing. However, this could also happen if I'm in public or around people or doing something that requires a lot of effort for long periods of time, as my brain's growing horribly tired from all of this information that's being sent to me. And the only way to counteract this temporary effect that you confusing humans have on me is to do the stare. If you're someone that can read body language, which is the majority of people, you know, a smile means you're happy, a frown means you're sad, then you're most likely to be apt to stay away from someone that's doing the same stare that's apparent in, I'm pretty sure, a lot of horror movies. In this case, my genius ploy has worked. I'm not a serial killer and I'm not trying to stare into your soul, and something that's, I guess, a little bit more reasonable, I'm not sad either. A lot of people seem to think that when I'm doing the stare, it means I'm horribly sad and they need to come and comfort me and wrap themselves and hug me, and honestly, that's just gonna make it worse. I simply just don't understand how your world works, and sometimes it's completely bizarre. And sometimes I simply just kind of, you know, forget to look human. Sometimes my eyeballs forget that they're, you know, meant to play a part in this. You guys know I like Disney. You guys know I use Disney terminology for pretty much anything I do. So instead of considering me a Wednesday Addams serial killer, which kind of counteracts the fact that I'm dressed quite similar to her today, consider me more of an Ariel, sitting on my rock and watching you humans go by in wonder. You guys are all endlessly fascinating to me. Your human world is a completely alien place, and I'm still figuring out every single day. Sometimes though, I might just watch on from a safe distance, murder eyes and all, and just watch you from my safe little ocean rock.